By the late 1970s, you see the sexual revolution peaking in disco culture and how that reflects the abandon of the times.
Disco was the music of sex.
People would dance all night and then, you know, go home and
Where people wanted to have sex, they were going to have sex. We would go around to Xenon, Studio 54, the two largest discotheques of that era.
Society columnists adore Studio 54 for the personalities it attracts. But the real star are the music, the lights, and the dance floor, where practically anything goes.
A typical night at Studio 54, I saw many people having sex in full view of other people.
You were going up to the VIP room, there was a lot of sex going on up there. I'd had sex up there many times.
It was a very permissive environment. Drugs everywhere.
Cocaine was like the candy and flowers of that era, and everybody was on Quaaludes.
Quaaludes, in addition to relaxing your muscles, completely relaxed all inhibitions.
Work like a sexual can opener, sort of. You would get somebody higher than they'd ever been before and take advantage of it.
That's why certain people call them leg spreaders. And the whole pharmacopoeia of hedonism at that time was about sexuality.
All the people that I hung with were super heterosexual, but we always went to the gay clubs to hear the newest music. It was the best DJs, the most underground stuff.
Disco, which had been a very gay thing, became a gigantic commercial force in music.
The first time I heard the Village People, I went over to the DJ and said, wow, what was that?
The funny thing about the Village People was it was all tongue-in-cheek.
Like kids, when you were growing up, everybody wanted to be a cowboy or in the army. That's sort of what Village People was about.
When they sang YMCA, what they meant was, let's go to the YMCA and get laid. But what the audience heard was, let's go have a good time at the YMCA. You could look at it either way, so they couldn't get in trouble.
And it felt like, wow, the gay rights movement, they take it into a whole nother level. It's invading pop culture.
YMCA, and it's all sign language and stuff, and they have no clue as to what the thing really was about.
At the same time, of course, you had sex clubs opening all over the place.
There were lots of swing clubs, orgies, went to places like Plato's Retreat.
Plato's Retreat was a swingers club. You'd pay a certain amount of money, and there were hot tubs and swimming pools.
Very similar to Studio 54, except a naked version with lots of mattresses and rooms for people to do whatever they wanted.
The place was like Sodom and Gomorrah, just a little den of debauchery.
It's called a freak. They're doing it night and day. Allow us, we'll show you the way.
Swinging in the 60s was suburban swinging. You know, these key parties, they called them. What Plato's did was it created an emporium for it. And now there was big money to be made.
Now here we are in the beautiful Met Room at Plato's Retreat, the most famous place in the world, probably.
It was owned by this guy named Larry Levinson, who is described as not being the smartest guy in the world.
It's a beautiful sight to watch 30 couples all naked, touching, caressing, and making love.
He was, you know, like a cab driver kind of guy, and he was the host of this fancy swing club.
Hi, swingers. We're Larry and Mary, co-owners of Plato's Retreat.
Regarded himself as the king of swing, so he had a throne.
Is he active at his own club?
Of course. He line them up and he gives them numbers.
Time magazine reported that 6,000 people a month were going through that place.
We have a song out, Plato's Retreat, that's #1 in the country right now.
There was often entertainment, strippers, or some kind of sexual skits.
7 to 9 p.m. We have male strippers here for ladies only. At 9 p.m. we reopen our doors for ladies mud wrestling.
We came out and we started wrestling around and rolling around and cutting each other's clothes off with knives. And, you know, it was very sexy and very fun.
Lots of porn stars and suburban people. It was an incredible mix of people.
Have you seen Bonnie make love to another man?
Yes, I did.
How did you feel the first time?
My mom said it's wrong. My dad said it's wrong. My rabbi said it's wrong. But I think it's right.
As you see, this young lady seems to be enjoying herself immensely, and all the couples will be also starting tonight.
It was not the most luxurious place. One was not tempted to go in the hot tub, which had a kind of film over it. They were serving bologna and not beluga.
You get a meal that's fantastic. You get any bar mitzvah, a whole smorgasbord.
I remember enjoying the food the most. It always seemed clean to me, the buffet. I mean, you might have someone's balls, you know, dipping into the chopped liver now and then.
Look, you know, I'm not going to eat anything at that buffet at all.
I don't think there's anything worse than thinking about middle-class, overweight people having sex. And that's what Plato's Retreat was always to me.
It seemed to be filled with dentists from New Jersey with zits on their backs. It was not my idea of a Roman orgy.